Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. When we think of narcissists, words like manipulative, self-centered, and toxic often come to mind. But the one descriptor that doesn't get as much attention is the word boring. It just might seem counterintuitive at first, because after all, narcissists often present themselves as larger-than-life figures, and full of charm and charisma. But once you peel back the layers of their grandiose façade, there's something far less glamorous about narcissists that often goes unnoticed. They are, quite frankly, boring. The realization that narcissists are boring often comes as a surprise, as initially, their confidence and charisma can be captivating. But once the novelty wears off, their predictability, self-centeredness, and lack of depth become painfully clear. And there are many reasons why a narcissist is boring. They are selfish, mean-spirited, spiteful, annoying, and rude, or perhaps it's because they make absolutely everything about themselves. They are so compulsively controlling that there is no room for spontaneity either, and that makes life dull and boring. Being with a dictator who insists and bullies you into doing everything their way or the highway extinguishes the pleasure that comes from independent free will. Narcissists suck the life out of you and mask their inability to contribute with all kinds of BS. It's both tedious and boring. Their conversation is always a loop of the same themes: their achievements, their brilliance, and their opinions. What initially seemed like an intriguing persona begins to feel repetitive, and even robotic. The same basic pattern, idealization, followed by disenchantment and anger, leading to devaluation and discard, is played out with everyone, from the shoemaker to their new lover. As beneath all the bravado and the drama lies a person who is trapped in their own mind, endlessly replaying the same tired script. And once you've seen through the act, there's nothing left to hold your attention. The truth is, narcissists are boring because they are predictable, self-centered, emotionally flat, and unimaginative. They are incapable of true growth, change, or depth, making their lives, and the lives of those around them, mundane and dull. Everything that the narcissist does becomes soul-grindingly boring when you see them for who they are. They all seem to be cut from the same cookie cutter. In relationships, this boredom can be particularly damaging. Partners of narcissists may find themselves trapped in a cycle of high drama and low emotional fulfillment, constantly giving without receiving anything of substance in return. Friendships with narcissists often follow a similar pattern, with the narcissist taking center stage and offering little in the way of genuine connection or support. Relationships with narcissists often leave people feeling drained rather than enriched, as the dynamic is based on feeding the narcissist's ego, rather than fostering mutual growth. The real intrigue, in any relationship, lies in genuine connection, vulnerability, and mutual respect, qualities that narcissists, by their very nature, are unlikely to offer. Narcissists follow a script, one that is as tedious as it is harmful. Narcissists are creatures of habit, and their interactions revolve around a few predictable themes. They seek admiration, assert their superiority, and manipulate those around them to maintain a sense of control. This cycle, repeated ad nauseam, becomes monotonous over time. What initially seemed like confidence quickly reveals itself as insecurity masked by arrogance. Narcissists often present themselves as fiercely independent, but the truth is, they are profoundly dependent on others for validation. This neediness can quickly become exhausting for those around them, and what started as an intriguing relationship can devolve into a tedious routine of catering to the narcissist's endless demands. Furthermore, because narcissists are so focused on themselves, they often lack curiosity about the world around them. They also don't really talk about anything interesting. The most you can get out of them is some weird word salad that makes you scratch your head. In addition, they don't tend to have hobbies. Their only hobby is manipulating people and trying to obtain money, wealth, drugs, sex, etc. They are uninterested in anything that doesn't directly serve their need for validation, which makes them intellectually stagnant. Over time, this stagnation becomes apparent to those around them. Conversations with a narcissist rarely lead to new insights or discoveries. Instead, they circle back to the same tired topics and the same shallow observations. Their conversations are monologues rather than dialogues, with little room for anyone else's thoughts, feelings, or experiences. What's fascinating at first, stories of their perceived greatness, quickly become dull, as you realize these tales are recycled and self-serving. They may belittle others, dismiss opposing viewpoints, or engage in one-upmanship to maintain their sense of dominance. This constant need to prove themselves better than others reveals a lack of genuine substance. When every conversation is a competition, it ceases to be engaging, and instead becomes a chore to endure. Try to share something about yourself, and you'll quickly find the conversation redirected back to them. They have little interest in genuinely engaging with others, or exploring ideas that don't serve their ego. This relentless focus on themselves makes them one-dimensional and, frankly, dull. Narcissists are masters of manipulation, but their tactics are hardly innovative. They gaslight, guilt-trip, and play the victim, always aiming to control the narrative and the people around them. Once you recognize these patterns, they become predictable, stripping the narcissist of their mystique. What's left is a person who is more interested in playing mind games than in forming authentic relationships. The narcissist's lack of true emotional depth also contributes to their boring nature. Their relationships are often transactional. They see people not as individuals, with their own thoughts and feelings, but as tools to be used for their own gain. This superficiality means they are incapable of genuine connection, which, in turn, makes them poor conversationalists and uninspiring company. There's no richness in their interactions, no meaningful exchange of ideas or emotions, just a repetitive cycle of self-promotion and manipulation. The more you get to know a narcissist, the more you realize that you are dealing with a person devoid of depth and substance. They are stuck in a loop of their own making, repeating the same behaviors over and over again. What ultimately makes narcissists boring is their inauthenticity. They wear masks, crafting personas that are designed to impress, rather than express. This lack of authenticity becomes apparent over time, and once the illusion fades, what remains is a person who is more concerned with appearance than with substance. Engaging with a narcissist becomes an exercise in futility, as the conversation never evolves, the relationship never deepens, and the interaction never feels truly genuine. Because they are constantly performing, narcissists rarely allow themselves to be vulnerable or real. Their interactions are scripted, and their emotions are often exaggerated or contrived. This aversion to vulnerability keeps relationships with narcissists shallow and unsatisfying. This inauthenticity creates a barrier to true connection, leaving those around them feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled. In contrast, people who are authentic, who show their vulnerabilities, admit their mistakes, and engage with others on a deeper level, are far more interesting. They offer richness in their interactions, a sense of spontaneity and realness that narcissists simply cannot provide. At their core, narcissists are empty. They lack the ability to form deep, meaningful connections with others, because they are fundamentally disconnected from their own emotions. This emotional emptiness translates into a dullness that becomes more apparent the longer you are exposed to them. Narcissists often try to fill this void with external validation, seeking admiration, power, or status. But no matter how much they accumulate, it's never enough to satisfy them. This perpetual dissatisfaction makes them not only boring but also insatiable, leaving those around them feeling drained and unfulfilled. What's worse is that this self-centeredness extends to every aspect of their lives. They engage in activities, build relationships, and pursue goals, not out of passion or curiosity, but to reinforce their own sense of superiority. Whether it's a hobby, a job, or even a romantic relationship, everything they do serves as a reflection of their inflated ego. This makes their lives, and by extension, any life intertwined with theirs, remarkably dull. Narcissists are often associated with drama. Their lives seem to be a series of conflicts, confrontations, and crises. However, this drama is not rooted in genuine emotion or passion, it's merely a tool to draw attention to themselves. The emotional outbursts, the tears, the rage, they're all part of the act. Beneath the surface, there is an emotional flatness to narcissists that becomes evident over time. They lack the depth of feeling that makes life rich and varied. Their emotions are shallow, driven by the need for validation rather than genuine connection or empathy. This emotional shallowness becomes particularly apparent in close relationships, where partners may find themselves yearning for a deeper, more meaningful connection that the narcissist is incapable of providing. Narcissists often indulge in grandiose fantasies of success, power, and admiration. They see themselves as the ultimate winners in life, destined for greatness. But these fantasies are as unoriginal as they are unrealistic. They are built on clichés and stereotypes, such as the wealthy tycoon, the beloved celebrity, the irresistible lover. There is little creativity or imagination in these dreams. They are simply borrowed from the cultural zeitgeist, with no personal touch or unique vision. Moreover, these fantasies are often disconnected from reality. Narcissists lack the perseverance, creativity, and hard work required to achieve their grand visions. Instead, they rely on manipulation, deceit, and exploitation to get ahead. This disconnect between their fantasies and their actual abilities results in a life that is not only unfulfilled, but also uninspired. While narcissists might initially seem intriguing or exciting, they ultimately reveal themselves to be far less interesting than they appear. Beneath the surface lies a person who is emotionally shallow, predictable, and self-absorbed, a combination that, over time, becomes undeniably boring. Recognizing this can be liberating, allowing you to see through the narcissist's façade and seek out relationships that are truly enriching and fulfilling. So the next time you find yourself dazzled by someone's charm or charisma, take a closer look. Are they genuinely engaging with you, or are they merely performing? Are they capable of true connection, or are they stuck in the same tired patterns? The answers might reveal a person who is far less captivating than they first appeared. A narcissist who, once unmasked, is really quite boring. So I hope this content was helpful and provided some clarity for you. Please remember to like and share this video, that really helps get the word out. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do, so that you can get notified about my new releases. As always, I welcome your comments, questions, and suggestions, so please keep them coming. I express my gratitude to everyone for tuning in and watching. Let us help spread the awareness and lead healthier and fulfilling lives.